Hurry, hurry, hurry! Come one, come all, to the most f***ed up place in the world! Do you want to see a dead body? Do you want to get your teeth knocked out by a guy in a Bud Light tank top? Do you want to have so much diarrhea you briefly achieve flight? Then welcome to every amusement park in America!
Look, if you work long enough at an amusement park, you will eventually see a dead body. Just how likely are you to die at a theme park? I don't know. In fact, nobody does, because there isn't a single federal agency responsible for investigating or counting fatalities at amusement parks. Carnivals and fairs that move are overseen by the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission, but fixed location parks are regulated by local and state agencies who oftentimes can be really lenient with the parks because they don't want to mess with places that pump a lot of money into the local economy. The best sources on amusement park fatalities are informal surveys, which tend to put the number at around 1,200 to 1,500 a year, but those numbers still come from the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions, meaning the parks themselves, which is a little like asking the NRA how many gun owners accidentally shoot their penises off every year. You know they're going to try to seriously lowball that number. I once worked a ride that launches riders upwards so fast someone had a heart attack and died right there in front of me. Those amusement park warnings about heart attacks are no joke. But what's even more tragic is many heart attack victims die because they simply didn't know they had an underlying heart condition. So in a way, amusement parks are one of America's leading and most lethal medical testing centers. Another time, two teenage girls were riding a wooden coaster with steep hills and such, and halfway through, they tried to switch seats and, well, they failed. And one of them fell to her death. One night we got a call over the radio about a person injured on a ride where people sit suspended with their feet hanging free. At one point, the ride comes out of a loop close to the ground, and a woman's leg and part of the seat assembly struck an employee who had jumped over the fence and was in this prohibited area. There was no doubt he was dead, and nothing could be done except to throw a tarp over him and wait for the coroner. Upon inspection, his pockets were filled with change. We figured he was collecting the money that falls out of people's pockets. The same ride also killed a teenager a year later when he jumped the fence to get back the hat he'd lost. One other case occurred at our water park when a man cut through the line, fought through guests and the lifeguards, and jumped down one of our tallest slides, which is almost a complete vertical drop. He tumbled over, landed on the fence below, and died on impact. But maybe you won't die. Maybe you'll just be horrifyingly maimed in some way. Boy, amusement parks sure are fun. If only people would stop beating the shit out of each other.
Wait, what? Sir, I believe you have unceremoniously and rudely cut into this queue, and I'm gonna beat your ass!
I once saw a giant fight break out because a guest had saved a spot for someone else that ended with a broken jaw and nose for the person who cut and several complimentary rides in the back of a police cruiser. Another time, a drunk guy cut in front of a father and daughter and the dad just knocked him out cold. But my personal experiences are just the tip of a very big rageberg. News sites have been reporting for years now that with the COVID-19 pandemic stressing everybody out, fights at amusement parks have become a nationwide problem. Brawls between customers and amusement park staff have been reported at Disneyland, Universal Studios, Busch Gardens, other smaller regional places. In Waldameer, an amusement park in Erie, Pennsylvania, a brawl got 7 people arrested and sent one to the hospital. In the Kennywood Park, also located in Pennsylvania, a fight ended with 150 people being ejected from the grounds. Similar mass brawls that look like the Battle of the Bastards also happened at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom with over 100 people throwing hands. In mid-2022, the Knott's Berry Farm Park in California had to close down early after a day of fights and even reports of gunfire. But hey, at least the danger of being shot or beaten to death is nothing compared to how amusement parks feed hundreds of millions of people a year. And obviously, I don't have to tell you that this food is not healthy. We didn't even make this shit up for the video. Deep-fried butter on a stick is a real food that you can get at real amusement parks, country fairs, and other places that make your real cardiologist really cry. The amusement park kitchens I saw were filled with mouse feces. The regular practice in our kitchens was, when you find rodent droppings, only throw away the food the droppings are actually on. Food in the same bag as the shit on food that wasn't technically touched by said shit was saved, put on a plate or stick, and eventually plopped right in your mouth. Just to make it clear for legal reasons, this did not happen at Disneyland, even if the rodent droppings would be a perfect thematic fit for them. That said, Disney doesn't exactly have a perfect record with food safety. In 2002, for example, Walt Disney World accidentally gave 141 guests salmonella poisoning. The salmonella was eventually traced to a contaminated batch of prepackaged diced tomatoes because, like I always say, deep-fried butter on a stick is healthier than vegetables. Visitors to amusement parks often mistake food poisoning for motion sickness caused by the rides, and they don't treat it fast enough, which in rare cases can lead to serious health complications. But not so rare that there aren't people trying to cash in on it. There are actual law practices that specialize in suing amusement parks for food poisoning. So hey, it turns out that there's a chance your bank-breaking family trip to some overpriced theme park may just end up paying for itself, provided you hit enough restaurants there and get, lucky. Just be sure to bring a few changes of underwear with you, and also a helmet for when your explosive diarrhea propels you right into the toilet ceiling. We decided not to animate that part. You understand.